I mean, see our student body rush down and feel the bottom part of the section, the remainder of our crowd to be amped up for the final minute of play. Like, that's the takeaway. And I know for some guys, or for some people, the story is what happened. And, you know, our administration has obviously made it clear that that's not the stance and what we want from the volunteer spirit. You know that I feel the same way. Yeah, I didn't sign any mustard bottles or golf balls. Maybe wish I had a golf ball that night, you know what I mean? But I'm only kidding. All right.
It was very casual. We were just kind of walking off the field, and he was like, "So what you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna come back next year." He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go to Atlanta." And I was like, "Yes, sir. Let's make it happen."
99% of the people in this world want to be great. Would you agree with that? Yeah, they're called wannabes. 1% work to be great. Drop the mic on that.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait until you see.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
I'm Xavier, the X Factor.
We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about this Pitt game coming up. How about it? Top 25 matchup. Tennessee ranked 24th in the AP poll, going on the road to take on Pitt. We're going to talk about it. Dauber won't be here tomorrow night. JP's going to jump on, hang out with me. We're going to talk about the game as well. But I'm going to give Dauber an opportunity here in just a second to kind of give you his rundown of the Pitt game and also give you his prediction since he won't be here tomorrow. I've gone ahead and put out, look, this is a fan call-in show. This is your show. The link is already out if you are a member of the Talkin VAWLS Elite. I'm going to kind of go down the line. We'll hit Talkin VAWLS Gold next. Then we'll hit the Talkin VAWLS Faithful. And if we have time, we'll hit the Emoji Access members of the channel. Some of you asked me on Twitter, Facebook, how do I become a part of this show? What's the phone number to call in? It is for members of the channel. So if you want to join the show, hit that join button just down below. Right beside subscribe, you can join the channel for as little as 99 cents a month or up to $10 a month. And you have access to come on the show and hang out with us. We're going to run down the chat. Let's see who is hanging out already on this late night edition of Talkin VAWLS. The innocent culprit in the house. What is up, innocent culprit? Kelly Goodwin is here. What is up, Kelly Goodwin? Crazy Nugs in the house, dropping that Tennessee Pitt prediction, 45-31. Let's see who else we got hanging out in the chat here. John Hill with a $20 super chat. It's not officially a Talkin VAWLS stream until John Hill drops that first super chat of the night. I've already got the leaderboard ready because I knew John would come in hot. Thank you, John, for the super chat. It says, let's go, Big Orange. I appreciate that. Jason in the house. What's up, Jason? Tyler still is here. El Nino is in the house. Got one more super chat. We'll hit this real quick. And then I want to get Dauber. I want to get his take on this Pitt game coming up and his prediction since he won't be here with us tomorrow. Darren Gregory for $20. That ain't cheap. Just walks up, lays a 20 on the table, and leaves. Doesn't even have anything to say. But, Darren, we appreciate that super chat. Keeping the lights on, paying the bills, paying the mortgage around here in the Talkin VAWLS studios. We appreciate that. Dauber, give me a quick little rundown. We've already got people flooding in the back room. We'll get them on the show here in just a second. What do you think about Tennessee going on the road to take on Pitt this weekend?
Definitely a big game, big out-of-conference game. Your opponent is going to be a step up from Ball State, probably actually a couple steps up. Johnny Majors Classic, and I think there are a couple boys that are playing the revenge factor. Saw some tweets and some quotes, some guys talking about how it felt the way that game went last year in Neyland and Knoxville. Um, you know, I given the opponents last week, Tennessee did what they were supposed to, handled the game against Ball State as they should have. I think they kept it a little bit vanilla on both sides of the ball. Hate to say that, hate to use that phrase, but I really think that they did. Um, Conversely, Pitt, they were in a dogfight, down late in the fourth quarter with I think less than 5 minutes, and had a couple breaks go their way to end up coming out on the victorious side of that. Didn't play a really good game. Of course, they lost some key members to that team last year that came to Knoxville and won. No more Kenny Pickett, no more Addison. So here's my lowdown for Saturday against Pitt. I think that you're going to see a whole lot more on the defensive side of the ball from Tennessee. A whole lot more pressure, a whole lot more scheming, more blitzes dialed up. They're going to get after it. And the offense is just going to keep clicking. You're going to see the running backs have a good game. Hooker's going to come out and be consistent. I think that's the thing that you can count on Hooker doing is being consistent. Even in a game where I talked to a guy at work today, and he was talking about Hooker. He's like, man, it didn't seem like he had a good game. I was like, he was 18 of 23 or 19 of, that is as consistent as you can have for a quarterback. We talked about he had three or so drops. So I think these guys are going to bring it. You want me to go ahead and do my final score?
Yeah, give me a prediction, then we'll get Xavier's prediction, and then we'll get the fans on here. Let them take over and hijack this show.
All right, I've got Tennessee going on the road to Pitt and coming back to Knoxville 2-0. They're going to win 34-17.
I like that. I've not put out an actual prediction. I'm going to wait till tomorrow, but I've said multiple times over the last couple of days, I think Tennessee wins by a couple of scores. And I wouldn't be surprised with what you're saying there. And kind of going back to last year, and even though there are some differences, obviously they're two different football programs, but I think Pitt is taking a step backwards. Tennessee's taking a step forward. But you look at that game last year, if Milton connects on some of those passes early, it's a blowout, and Tennessee never looks back.
That would have ran them out of the stadium.
Xavier, give me a couple of quick thoughts and give me your prediction. We got 200 people watching live. It is a fan call-in show. The link is out there. If you are a member of Talkin VAWLS Elite or a member of Talkin VAWLS Gold, go to the YouTube channel, click that community tab, and you can see the link posted there. Wait a minute. I missed it. Man, it went so fast. I missed the super chat. Rod's Fireworks Megastore. Like, that feels like a sponsor if I've ever heard one. Drops a $20 super chat. Nothing to say, just a tip in the old tip jar. Rod's Fireworks Megastore. We appreciate it. Thank you for that super chat. All right, Xavier, give me a quick little rundown. 60 seconds or less. It's a fan call-in show and a prediction for Saturday.
Well, the way that I see it is that, yes, Tennessee, I believe, is going to go up to handle Pitt. They're going to take care of business. Like Dauber said, you know what I'm saying, Jabari Small, like I said, I think Jalen are going to have a field day as far as the running back room. I feel like the Hendon Hooker is going to shred that secondary on Pitt. He's going to have a field day as well. And yeah, I just believe that we're going to go up there and take care of business and stuff. And it's like what I said before, this team played them last season. So, that's, I'm saying, with that loss last season, it's like in the back of their head. They're just like, yeah, we need to go up there and make a statement of saying like, hey, we can beat you guys. So I feel like this whole team's going to go up there and take care of business. My predictions, I'm going to say, let's see, Tennessee 45, Pitt, it's going to be 27.
I like it. I'll take it. Let's get some of these listeners on here, have fun, open up the channels, open up the airwaves. For the fans, by the fans, means something around here. It's not just a saying, it's a way of life. Let's get Josh Harmon on the show. What's up, Josh? Go get your thoughts on this game coming up Saturday, 3:30.
Well, I'm going to feel like a pessimist because I'm a little nervous, a little more nervous than I think the three of you are. Well, Boogie, I don't know about you yet, but the idea of a good quarterback is something that scares me. I think we fare really well with mediocre to higher-end mediocre quarterbacks, but I'd be lying if I said our Bs didn't worry me just a little bit. I don't want a rehash of that Purdue game. It opens up way too many variables that I'm not comfortable with, for sure.
Yeah, what concerns me is, I said on the morning stream this morning, I think a big advantage for Tennessee is if they can get pressure on Slovis, they can put hits on him. I think he struggles under pressure, but to go with what you're saying there, Josh, if you're going to get after him, I don't have the confidence Tennessee can do that with the front four, so are they going to have to bring more pressure? And if so, like you just said, does that back end hold up? Let's get Nate Turner on here. What's going on, Nate? How you feeling? Confident, nervous, anxious going into Saturday?
Man, I'm feeling good. I was at the game the other night. What I'll tell you is a lot of people, I've heard it from y'all, different shows and everything, talking about the defense just looked like they wasn't able to get to the quarterback with no penetration. If you go back and watch the game, their quarterback was anywhere between 1.7 to 2.1 seconds of letting the ball go. Beasley and Banks, when they did dial up some defense and everything as far as rushes, they were getting back there. It's just when the quarterback gets rid of the ball that fast, it's going to be difficult. And plus, why show your entire hand? You're coming up playing Pitt. I believe our receivers are going to have a big game. Their cornerbacks, they're really not SEC type quarterbacks, of course, cornerbacks. And I really believe that Brew is going to have a breakout game, and Tillman is going to have at least 2 tutties in the first. I've got the score anywhere between 35-13, around that deal.
Listen, it was 17-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah,
they didn't have to dial anything up. I think the game dictated the defensive scheme, and it was more so like you said, Nate. We don't have to do anything, so let's not waste it right now.
It makes it hard to talk about that Ball State game because everything you say is because it was Ball State. It's like Hendon Hooker looked good because it was Ball State. Aaron Beasley got pressured because it was Ball State. The defense didn't bring more than 4 because it was Ball. So we're going to learn on Saturday. Let me hit this super chat real quick. Blitz 621 for 5. Thank you for the tip. Says they only gave us 500 seats in the Upper Garbage Stadium. Bring it, Vols. Let me add this next guy on. He's going to come on. He's just going to insult me. Brad, what's up, buddy? Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, I'm just here for the comedy.
Yeah, see, now you can't insult me without me being able to retaliate. But it is good to have you on the show, man. You're here every time we're live, every video. You're always in the chat. So it's good to get you on here. What do you think about Blitz 621 there, talking about the stuff with Pitt? They left some lower level seats for the band, but that's it. Brad, do you put anything into that? You think it's going to fire up this rivalry a little bit?
I think it'll fire up the fan base, but I don't think it's going to mean much for the players.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree.
Short-winded, but yeah.
I started to call you Cody there for a second. Let me get Matt Begley on here. What's up, Matt? Let me also add who else we got. A. Scott Bennett is hanging out, and we also got Jordan in the house. What's up, Jordan? Jordan's out there doing the Lord's work.
Yes. Hold on a second.
It wouldn't be a fan call-in show if Jordan didn't come on and some type of catastrophe happened.
Oh boy! Well, I just had to throw some things on. Anyways, yeah.
Close? What are you doing out there?
Look, I'm in my bed. Hey, I'm down here in the South Georgia slums. I can't help it. I was supposed to be home today, but because of things that were out of my control, I'm having to stay here in Albany, Georgia, or as I like to call it, the South Georgia slums. The reason I call it the South Georgia slums because once you get south of Macon on I-75, there's nothing else but cotton fields and meth labs.
Breaking
I'm just
Bad.
up north of you, my friend, up in McDonough.
Just a reminder, we got 250 people in the chat watching live. This channel is ran by fans, for the fans, by the fans. This every single Tuesday. I had to think about what day it was. I feel like all I do is live stream. Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, it is a fan call-in show. Sometimes the connection is going to be bad. Sometimes the audio is not going to work. Sometimes the mic is going to come in hot like Jordan just did. It's all part of letting you guys have a voice on this channel. Crazy Nugs drops a $5 super chat. Thank you, Crazy. Sometimes people burp in the microphone. You never know. Crazy Nugs for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Go Vols. GBO Pitt can't keep up. We're driving a Ferrari. They driving my Hyundai.
I'm driving a Freightliner.
I've talked a lot about this in the toss-up games, and I'll pitch this one over to Matt Begley. He can comment on it. In these toss-up games, a game like Pitt, even though Tennessee's favored by 6.5, a toss-up game like Kentucky, a toss-up game like Florida, whoever you want to bring up, what you got to look at, can their offense keep up? Based on what Crazy Nug says, we're driving a Ferrari, they're driving a Hyundai. Do you think Pitt can keep up in a shootout, Matt?
The only way they're going to keep up, Boogie, is if we turn the ball over. I mean, this football team in Hendon, since he's got here, has been, predicated on protecting the football. Only 3 interceptions last year. He didn't really force anything in week 1 that we saw either. He didn't have to. But the only thing we've got to avoid in games like this is, are we going to fumble the football? I know we've had some issues, and especially last year with fumbling the football. And I think with Jabari putting on the extra weight, him feeling more confident going up in the middle, holding on to the football. The only time that we lose a game like this, especially those toss-up games, in my opinion, is if we give them extra possessions. As long as we control what we can control, don't turn the football over, punt when we have to punt, do the things that we can do. I think our defense will hold up enough, a little bit better, more experienced than last year to give us an edge, because I don't think anybody in the country is going to be ready for what we do for what Tennessee does with that tempo, even if you can prepare for it. It's such a different thing to prepare. And you went over it a couple different times, and I've heard on different shows an 11-play, 94-yard drive in 3 minutes and 20 seconds with, I think 8 of those plays on the ground against Ball State. But to me, it's going to be the turnover battle. I think Tennessee's a better football team. The 6.5-point spread, I'm taking that all day. The only way we allow a team like this and back into football games, we turn it over. And I do agree with you, and I've listened to all your shows this week. I'm friends, and I coached Jackson Dart kid at Ole Miss, and I've talked to him a little bit about Slovis, who was a teammate of him. And you are spot on about the idea that he will panic in the pocket, and we can force turnovers if we can get to him.
He's scared.
I agree with you. He does not like to be hit. And if you watch USC, which I did a lot last year because Jackson was one of my kids in Utah that I coached, when he was in the game, if you put pressure on him, he made mistakes. That's why Dart got the ability to play there when he came in. To me, this and against Kentucky, even Florida, our offense is better than those offenses, and we are the Ferrari is going to go. We just cannot give extra possessions to a team, and I think that's football 101.
Right.
Yeah, a couple key points that completely agree with. The turnovers, and then the fact that the defense, they don't have to be elite. I mean, we'd love to see them be elite. We'd love to see sacks every other play, but all they have to do is slow down the other team's offense just enough. That's hold them to a field goal instead of giving up a couple touchdowns. It's causing them to punt, because this offense is going to score points. And that's what I've said all along with Heupel and this style.
I think something that was really interesting to see in the game that you can tell Heupel's adopted it was last year we didn't really have a 4-minute offense to run. There's going to be some games where it comes down to hopefully we have the last possession and either we're going to win it or we're going to seal it. And it was kind of go, go, go. But during that Ball State game, I think it was right before halftime, they kind of slowed down the offense quite a bit to show like if we need to, we're going to milk this clock. And it's not necessarily going to be a quick 3 and out, because that'll be what gets us quicker than anything. Our offense going out there, 2 quick runs, a pass that's incomplete, and then the D's right back out on the field, because that's going to blow up on our face. And that was definitely something that put us in a lot of unfavorable situations last year.
Josh, I think
On that
what you said there too. On that note too, with what we do on that tempo and getting up to the ball so quickly, if we can avoid the substitutions to allow them to match up, especially when you're trying to milk the clock, then you're seeing the offensive lineman then looking over and getting an audible or a couple different plays to choose from based on the personnel that's on the field. And you saw that a couple times, even with Milton in the game, where I think they were even practicing that too, of getting up, seeing Ball State's formation, not allowing them to substitute, looking to the sideline, getting the play, taking 13, 14, 15 seconds. And we saw something we haven't seen out of Milton ever, I don't think, 8 of 9 with, So I think that's something you'll see too later in the game when you need to do that. It's something a little different than last year.
That's an interesting point, because I noticed that too in the Ball State game. It seemed like they did slow down at times. And, that was a big question mark concern about this offense last year, with the fake injuries. And you kind of wonder if they've worked on that in the offseason for part of that too. Hey, if these guys are laying down faking injuries, we've got to have something up our sleeve to react to that. And I think this Josh Heupel offense works. I think going fast is just another benefit of the offense, but I think it works for itself. I got to get this next guy on here, because it's not a party till this guy shows up and drops a super chat, and he's finally going to be on a fan call-in show. But I got to be honest, John Hill, welcome to the show. I'm disappointed because I saw what was on your head in the back room, and I was like, this is not what I expected this guy to look like. And then I saw you take the wig off, and I was so disappointed. Like, I thought it was legit, because in the back room, everybody's so small you can barely see, and I was like, John Hill has the sweetest mullet I've ever seen. And then you took it off, and I was so disappointed. Oh no, we can't hear him. What's going on with the audio? Try now.
Testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wait, let's see if this works.
Try now.
I thought I was the only one having connection and headphone problems tonight.
It's not a party until we have technical difficulties. What's up, Dustin? Let's see if we got John now. Can we hear you, John?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we got you.
There you go.
Hey.
The old Bose didn't work.
What's up, buddy? It's good to have you on the show, man. You're just like Brad. You watch every video. You're in every live stream. It's good to get you guys out of your comfort zone, get you on here hanging out, talking a little Vol football.
I don't harass you as much as Brad does, though.
No, you're way nicer than Brad is. Brad's just he's like that weird uncle. Him and Uncle Alan.
Yeah,
harassing Boogie's my second job.
Yeah. There you go. I think they ought to blitz Burrell all the time, because he probably would blitz better than he would cover. So
that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. That was just the worst thing to see in person. I'm telling you. You just get flashbacks to Purdue.
What's weird, though, is Tim Banks today met with the media, was very complimentary of Warren Burrell. Josh Heupel, when he met with the media, and I'm just like, these guys clearly get paid millions of dollars. They know way more about football than I will ever even begin to imagine that I know. Is it some type of motivational thing that they're doing when they meet with the media? Clearly, Warren Burrell struggles.
Yeah. It makes me wonder what Brandon Turnage is doing that he can't take that spot.
Yeah,
it really does.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And I think we've got to get Haddon in the game more. I mean, that kid is when he's in the game, he makes plays, and then when they don't go at him. I mean, they picked on him once or twice, and they never went back at him when he was in the game. I mean, he makes an instant impact. Because he's got the speed and the athleticism that a lot of these corners that we've had, especially Burrell, does not have. I mean, that kid is. You watched him. I went back and watched him just on the possessions he was in, and they're locked up. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And they picked on him once, and he made you pay. He's going to be a special player. I think we got to see more of him this week too.
What's interesting is looking at the depth chart, and again this week the depth chart, they've got Kamal Haddon and Christian Charles bracketed on one side, and then just Warren Burrell on the other side. And I can't remember, D. Williams, I think, is behind him. like Nate just said, I think it was Nate, where in the heck is
Yeah.
Brandon Turnage? Where is Brandon Turnage, and why can he not crack that too deep at the corner position? I don't get it. Let me catch up on Super Chats. We got a couple here. Agent Orange for 5 says that Josh Pate says Pitt will come out gunning to avoid falling behind. What are your thoughts on that, John? What do you think about that, John?
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to, because we're going to put it in overdrive for offense. So we're going to go out and try to score as much as we can. And, like old Spurrier used to do, he used to get you down, put his foot on your throat, and not let up. That's what Heupel needs to
Fun
do.
and gun offense.
Yeah, but that's what Pitt's going to try to do to us. But I think they're going to be a lot slower than we are.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, let's think about it. Let's look at them playing West Virginia. If Tennessee was to play West Virginia right now, when would the ball game be over? In what quarter? Seriously. First, second quarter. Okay? They struggled. They had a couple of, what can you say, ball bounced their right way that won them that game. They're a run-heavy offense.
The pick
our
six that bounced in the
crew-
receiver's hands.
Yeah. I mean, our linebacker crew has done a lot better so far. Even like I
Yes.
said, we keep saying it's Ball State, but that run stop, what was it, that fourth down that they went for with 1 yard? I mean, we stuffed that thing. And I don't see it. I really do not see any worries. I see Pitt beating us about
If we
as
beat
much as
ourselves.
I see Spencer Rattler not throwing 2 interceptions, Boogie.
Hey, Nate Turner, don't come on this channel and put words in my mouth. How dare you? How dare you? Let me
Hey, it's
straighten
my
the record.
birthday. I'm here with you.
Let me straighten the record. Boogie's comments were, which Spencer Rattler are we going to get? It's just like the Joe Milton thing. You guys can't put words in my mouth. Clearly, his start to the season is exactly what we wanted. And if that's the Spencer Rattler that they're going to get, they're screwed. Now, they did still add some nice pieces, but the missing link for South Carolina was quarterback. And Spencer Rattler has the arm. He's got the talent. He just doesn't have it between the ears.
We've seen time and time again what incompetent quarterback play can do. That's all too often been the case the last recent history, not even going back that far. All we were was, decent quarterback play away from being in a lot more games than we gave up. So.
All right, we got a bunch of big super chats coming in. Let me catch up on these real quick. We'll jump back into the conversation. Crazy Nugs for $10. Thank you, Crazy Nugs. Says John's internet is so bad because he spends all of his money on super chats. Don't insult the guests that give good super chats.
And 5 kids.
Yeah, hey, leave him alone. Leave him alone. And this is funny. Marcus Rush comes in, $21.47, tries to get his name on the leaderboard. Yeah, I appreciate that, Marcus Rush. Says, high hopes for Juwan Mitchell this year. Disappointed that he is still not playing. What's the latest on him? I talked a little bit about that in the morning stream. Josh Heupel kind of mentioned injury. We'll see how he is with the injury. Austin Price doubled down and said, Juwan Mitchell is not hurt. It is something to do with off-the-field issues. Whether that stems from last year or this year is whether or not I'm concerned or not. If it's a carryover suspension from last year, then that's fine. Maybe he does have his head on straight. Probably not going to play against Pitt this upcoming Saturday. We'll see if he plays against Akron. But the bottom line for me is if it's something that's going on this year, I don't think Juwan Mitchell ever steps foot on the field at Tennessee again. If it's not, we'll see what happens. But every week that he's out is another week he falls behind with Aaron Beasley because Aaron Beasley is going to take that job and never look back again. But that was the latest update on Juwan Mitchell this morning. Tyler Evans for $50. You guys know the deal. First of all,
doll hairs.
that ain't cheap. Second of all, we play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Tyler Evans dropping the big bucks. Thank you for the $50 super chat. That is very, very generous. We appreciate it. Says never chatted before, but been watching you guys for a long time. Didn't know you were a wrestling fan, brother. I'll be more engaged with you guys. I think we crushed Pitt. Got that gut feeling, GBO. Thank you, Tyler. Very, very generous super chat. Yeah, I'm a long-time wrestling fan. Still not got a chance to watch the pay-per-view because I feel like I've been live every night, every morning, making videos. I did record the pay-per-view Sunday, and I've watched about half of it. Oh, yeah, I did see all that stuff with CM Punk and all that. It's all a big work. The world's a work. It's all fake. I hate to, let you know. But I want to take the time to say this because of Tyler's Super Chat. That's a huge, generous Super Chat. But he says, I've never chatted before. Just been watching you guys. Going to be more active. Be active, guys. Like, look, we appreciate the Super Chats. Contrary to popular belief, some people think we do this just for fun. We are trying to make a little money while we're having fun. But you don't have to give Super Chats. There are people in this chat that never Super Chat, and they're engaged. We just appreciate you guys being here. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. Don't ever drop a Super Chat if you don't have the money. Don't join the channel if you don't have the money. Bills, family, that stuff is priority. If you got a little extra, we appreciate the tips. So thank you, Tyler, for that Super Chat. Travis Melvin for $20. You guys are feeling generous tonight, and we do appreciate it. Thank you for the Super Chat. Tennessee 48, Pitt 31. That's kind of close. That's real close to where I'm at with my prediction, but I will drop that tomorrow with JP live at 7 p.m. Tyler Evans also becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Tyler, you got access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to this here fan call-in. Guys in the chat, show him what he's won with those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Let's jump back into this Pitt game coming up. Who's being real quiet? Dustin's got that backwoods internet too. Can you hear us, buddy? Can you come in loud and clear? Maybe we should get CB radios for Dustin. What do you think about this game coming up, buddy?
Yeah, man. You're totally right. The last time I tried to get on, I was sitting right by the router, and it still wasn't working well. I live in like a back house situation, so it literally is a back house internet. I'll just say this real quick, and I'll get out of here because I don't want to hold the show up with a 10-second delay. But I think one of our issues last year was our quarter woes. I really hope that we can kind of get over that this year. We need to jump out to a quick start and keep the pedal to the metal. I like to see the secondary have a better game and see where we end up at the end of things. Because as of right now, we are 0-3 against Pitt all time.
All right, Dustin, I appreciate you coming on. We got to get that internet fixed because I always think you bring good points. But thanks for jumping on, buddy, and hopefully we can catch you next Tuesday for another fan call-in or maybe for the tailgate show coming up on Saturday.
He must have that Jonesboro internet.
Yes, sir.
Later, buddy. Listen to Jordan. Listen to Jordan. He's just glad somebody has worse internet than him, so he can yell at somebody, make somebody else feel less important.
I feel you, Jordan. Moving to Georgia, the internet's awful down here. Coming up from Utah, where everybody in the world has it. I'm close. Yeah. I'm in McDonough, so not too far from you, man.
About 3 hours.
Not bad.
I'm gonna go ahead and put out the link. Let's just throw it out there for all channel members. So 99 cents all the way up to 10. Everybody's got access to the link if you want to come on. Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
And we saw, obviously we saw lots of rotations at different positions. But the one that I'm most intrigued about this week is the left tackle situation. Do we see Minty locked in there, or do you still see them rotating? Because the one thing we cannot do with this team is allow that defensive front to take over the football game, which we know they can. I mean, that defensive line for Pitt is, like you said in your videos, returning 5 or 6 starters. Second best in the league last year in the whole NCAA in sacks. We gave it the most sacks in college football last year. So the left tackle spot, to me, is going to be an interesting position to watch on Saturday because, obviously it's your blind side for your quarterback, but it's something that, they rotated those guys in and out, in and out, in and out. Do we think you see that rotation again, or you think they lock into one and go?
I think they're going to go with Gerald Mincy, and I think if he plays well, he won't come out. I think if he goes out and he plays a couple of series and he struggles or he gets beat, I think you may see J.J. Crawford and maybe even they kind of like similar to what they talk about with the running backs, they go with the hot hand. But I think you'll see Mincy start, and if he doesn't struggle, I think he stays in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to jump in on that?
Though. Yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, think about how nice is it, though, to have
I think Mincy's the guy until he's not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Mincy plays hard. I mean, I'm telling you, that guy comes off the ball hard. He's really good in the run blockers. But, you know, if you got to switch guys out to get a breather or something, it's very nice to have like 2 competitive ones right there, you know, to back each other up. So you got to look at it that way also.
I agree with what Brian Rhino says in the chat there. Mincy he's more athletic. I like his athleticism. And they really talked a lot about that on the broadcast when they were talking about, you know, the rotation and playing both guys.
It's
Yeah,
nice
then Cole
to see
Kubelik
it.
decided to go impersonate him and start signing T-shirts before all the ice cream sandwich talk. But
Well,
you see where Mincy apologized? He apologized for that. He must have got in the doghouse over it. I thought it was funny.
It's nice he
It was
has a
for kids.
personality.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Now.
He's got a personality, so that's good.
I thought you saw some personality out of that team this week. I mean, you saw, was it Kamal Haddon who made the pick, who ran all the way down to the end zone after the pick, and then you saw
apparently that's where his
onto
family
the field too. I mean, after we got a penalty. Who came on the field after for the celebration? I think you're seeing guys get more comfortable in their skin on this team too, and I think anytime you do that, you get the buy-in, and you can already see it just even on TV, not even going to a game like you do, Nate, but from afar, you can see this team trusts and likes each other. They really do. And you saw
it's like
when Milton came out through the pick, the first person to meet him, very first guy to meet him was Hooker. I mean, just absolutely, ecstatic about the throw he made, and seeing his buddy, and now his roommate succeed. I think you're seeing a team really buy in, and we all, I work with a company that talks about culture, but you've heard Heupel talk about it so many different times. These dudes are bought into it, and it's a pretty evident thing to see on the sideline during the games, but also just how much they enjoy playing with each other. It's a fun team to watch, that's for sure.
Rod's Fireworks Megastore in the chat says, play the $1 Million Man clip again. That's reserved for $50 super chats. That's when we break out the $1 Million Man. Let me catch up on a couple here. We got a couple more good ones here, and then I'm going to get UT Punkin on the show. He's in the back room waiting to come on. He's geared up, ready to go. Leah Lancaster for 5. Thank you for the super chat. Says, here you go. Have some more fun. Yeah, these fan call-in shows are fun because I feel like I'm watching YouTube. Like listening to Matt go there, I'm like, man, just start your own channel. Put me out of business. Matt Zimmerman becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that support, buddy. H2P, I'm imagining this is some type of Pitt YouTube channel. There's a couple of them floating around in the chat. You guys are welcome here. Appreciate you hanging out. Thank you for the $2. Pitt 48, Tennessee 3, HTP. The question is, does this guy come back does he come back for the post-game show? That's the question. Wayne Stars for 20, very generous super chat. Wayne Star says,
Kentucky too much.
Wayne Starr says, dang, is it me or is this the best-looking group on YouTube right now? Go Vols, UT41, Pitt 28. Well, Wayne, you would only make it better looking. You've got the link. You can jump on here with us. Am I caught up? No, there's another big one here. Let me go down and find it. My gosh, my chat is running so slow. I know you guys love it when I talk about the chat. Rod's Fireworks Megastore drops $50. He said, I like the clip so much. Play the clip, Boogie. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
There we go.
Oh, love it.
I'd like to extend a personal invite to H2P to come back to the chat after the game.
I thought the second laugh would go good right after that comment. Apparently, I need to spend.
I've got a question.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
I want to see what y'all think.
Well, hold on. Let me get UT Punkin on here first, then you can fire away that question. Look at this guy. Ready to go.
Let's go.
Look at those guns. Yeah, he's got his flag. He's got his helmet.
Biden can't take those guns away.
Suit him up, baby. Let's suit him up.
Let's go.
Got any eligibility left?
Get this man on the defensive line.
Yeah, I got 4 years left.
What's up, UT Punkin?
Not much. Loving the show, guys. Y'all are crushing it.
That's right.
What are you looking for on Saturday? What are you feeling about this team going on the road to play Pitt? You feel
I
kind?
really
You guys,
do.
wait. Let me say something. Nate likes to put me on blast and talk about Spencer Rattler. Everybody in this chat was terrified of Pitt. Boogie spends all summer telling everybody, guys, we're going to take care of business. Now all of a sudden we're all in alignment. Everybody's picking Tennessee.
You didn't ask me my
Hold on. I
prediction.
was there with
Yeah,
you.
wasn't
Hold
here.
on. Hold on. I said,
You
I
didn't
went
ask
for-
me, Boogie,
Tennessee
because I wasn't scared.
56-20.
Let me go back to UT Punkin. I'll put words in your all's mouth. What do you think, UT Punkin? What are you looking for Saturday?
So I'm hoping our defense shows up. I think BY was kind of a letdown this past game. But I hope him and Banks just light it up Saturday. Just put so much pressure on that quarterback that he's not reading correctly and just throws a loose ball up there, and then we come and snag it. I hope we go +3 in the turnovers on defense.
I agree with that.
It's a win if so, but
If
easy
we're
win.
+3, it's like a 4-touchdown victory. Like
Well.
easily. I would say 100%.
Well, and this
Hey,
is back.
I got a question.
Okay.
Well,
Wait.
go ahead.
Here's my question. When we beat Pitt Saturday and say Florida beats Kentucky, both teams are 3-0. How much would you like to bet that for the first time in years we'll have an attendance of over 106,000 in that stadium? What's the possibility of that?
I don't
Standing
know
room
if
only.
anyone. I don't know
It
if
will be
anyone
packed.
else was at the game last Saturday, but I mean, just
Isn't it-
for that, it was like
92,236.
Yeah, 92. I mean, I can only imagine if it's like because by then I think it'd be a top 15 matchup.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll be
or
there.
like-
Oh, definitely.
So
They jumped all the way to 12 this week, so you know it'll be if they stay undefeated.
Well,
Yeah.
see,
beat
the thing
Kentucky.
is that it's like, I don't know why, but it's like after 2009, they just sold up to capacity. Before, see, that's how you would always get like 107, 108,000 people in the stands, even though the capacity is only 104,000. They would sell over capacity tickets, but they stopped doing it for some reason. Why, I don't know. So I wonder if they'll
Does the
start
new
doing
fan
that.
experience place, does that give more room for standing room only? I know they took some seats out for that, but with that bar area, can they feel more? They can stand in there too, as far as people that have been there.
I think the
that
capacity
party
in Neyland's.
$225 a ticket
Yeah.
for UT Martin. I'm like,
Yeah, but I think the capacity is like 101 now. 101.
101,915.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they're going over capacity anymore. Let me add a couple more guys to the show. BS. Oh, I can't. I'm maxed out. Let me drop some people.
I'll drop
Xavier's.
off.
Oh, you sure? You can stick around.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, Xavier, stick around.
Yeah.
You've not
Catch
been
y'all
talking
later.
much. I want to keep you on. All right. Thanks for jumping on, Pumpkin. If anybody else wants to drop off, it only allows me to have 10 people on here.
I'll hop too. Thank you, everybody.
No, stick
And,
around, Josh. Stick
oh,
around.
oh,
Stick
okay,
around.
okay.
You were a fan favorite last fan call-in show, so you're going to stick around a little bit longer.
Thank you.
Let's get BS Osborne on here. What's up, BS Osborne? Good to see you in the chat, buddy. Thanks for jumping on.
Well, yes, sir. No, I just got a notification and I was just relaxing. I just thought I'd see what was going on. Go Vols, gentlemen.
How you feeling about this game
Orange.
coming up on Saturday? How you feel about it? You got some confidence?
Well, guys, I'm maybe one of the older ones. Yeah, I'll be 56 in January. I paid $2.50 to see Tennessee and Florida in 1984 at Neyland Stadium.
Wow.
I was 17 years old. But as far as this game goes, yes, I have confidence. In my opinion, I have confidence in our offense for sure.
Absolutely.
Pitt gave up, 31 points to West Virginia. My personal opinion is our offense is superior to West Virginia. I know I'm biased, but that's just how I feel about that. I like a lot of Vol fans, so I live close to the Chattanooga area.
All County.
Bradley County.
Oh, Cleveland. Oh, good Lord.
Go Bears. So I would like to see more out of our defensive line. But I do believe we will defeat Pittsburgh. Yes.
Oh, yeah. 56-20.
I was listening to other podcasts and listening to other information. I just want to say to Boogie, I watch you as much as I can. I've worked quite a bit, and I actually had an opportunity. I'm glad I just got on here. I probably won't do this very much, but I am a huge Tennessee fan, and I just want to say thank you for developing your channel.
I appreciate it, man. It's fun. And you can say the name of the podcast. It's perfectly fine. You can say we all listen to the same stuff. That's what makes this channel different.
Well,
we're all listening to the same things.
The only thing I will say is I do think in general that most Tennessee fans are confident. And I am from that group. So I grew up, I can remember Connor Holloway. I became a fan with Connor Holloway. So my viewpoint is different. I expect Tennessee to win. I don't have this battered Vol syndrome. I get irritated when they lose, but I expect us to win. And and that's not just from the 90s. That's from, I just remember things.
Forget the late 70s.
Yeah, Tennessee should always be good. And to me, Rocky Top doesn't mean we're always number one. But that they're number one to me. What I'm trying to say is that means we can go out and beat anybody.
You ought to always be competitive.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Any day, anytime we can beat anyone, including Alabama. That's what it should mean. I despise Florida and Alabama, and living down here close to the Georgia people, I really want to beat Georgia. I want to beat everybody. So anyway, I'm sorry for rambling. I don't want to take up a lot of people's time. I know you have much more interesting individuals than myself to be on there, but I have seen the ups and the downs, and we just got to ride it out. But so far, I like this team. I would like to get a little more out of the defensive line. And you know what? I am still, I don't want to, well, you know what? We just got to take it one game at a time. But I feel good about this game. I hope we wear the white jerseys and the orange pants in honor of Coach Majors.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I want to say something else about uniforms real quick, but I'm getting the message. The back room's full now too. Let me rotate some more people off.
You're good.
Nate and Jordan, do you guys care to bounce? I'm going to add a couple of more guys. BS, stick around too. I want to hear some more of those old timers. You guys have been on since the beginning. I want to rotate some guys around. Nate, give me something final on the way out the door about Saturday.
Saturday's going to be what we as fans expect. We're going to see the offense wear them down. We're going to see what our defense is really made of. I look for Beasley to have a breakout game. He showed flashes last week of just how he is. Banks, to see this man in person now compared to last year, it's scary. So, yeah, man, I see us going up there, getting a little revenge from last year. And, Akron, another give me game. And then, we're going to get ready for me and Xavier's game we always talk about, Florida. So, yeah, man, I think we got it. I just want to let y'all know. Dude, my old lady is a Samson fan. When he scored, she broke down in tears. I'm telling you, it was awesome. But I just want to let y'all know, man, I stayed up to do this. It's my birthday, and I didn't want to do it with anybody else but y'all.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Nate. Always enjoy having you on, buddy.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All right, later, buddy.
Later, man.
Jordan, give me something on the way out the door, and then we'll get a couple more on here.
All right. We're gonna.
And I don't mean a 25-minute breakdown of the whole schedule. Jordan, give me something sweet, short and sweet.
Okay, we're going to beat Pitt 56-20. I feel very confident against South Carolina and LSU. We're going to win at least 10 games. I don't care what anybody says. All right, that's it. I got to go to sleep. I'm going to be back in Polk County in the morning in God's country. Anyways, y'all have a good night.
Later, buddy. Sometimes you got to warn Jordan because he'll go for 35 minutes and give you a full live. I just say, buddy, let me send you the link and you go live, and I'll just sit back and I'll just let you go. Let me see how many more people we got. Let's get Cody on here. Is Ethan there? Ethan, are you there? I always wonder when they're sitting in the back. Oh, he's gone. Stage fright. James Moody in the house. What's up, James?
What's up, sir? I'll just let you. How's the night?
Sir, can you turn your radio down? Good, James. How you doing, buddy? Glad to have you on here. I got some of these OGs that are always in the chat finally getting on here and hanging out with us.
Well, it's a good night to do that. We are looking forward to this Saturday. Lord knows we're hoping those Vols put a whipping on those Pitts.
Cody, what about you, buddy? You excited for Saturday? Give me more than 3 words.
Yeah, I want to see Tennessee beat them by 70. Put that guy.
Love it.
Put that scrub who sent that super chat saying Pitt's going to win and hold us to 3 points. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and throw this up here on the screen right now. Uncle Lou in the chat. You know, Uncle Lou was in the chat this morning on the morning stream, and I never trust anybody because you psychopaths in the chat like to change your names and, try to hijack the show. So I didn't trust that it was the real Uncle Lou. But I did confirm. We're going to try to get Uncle Lou scheduled to jump on here. Look, I know a lot of you guys are going to get mad at him and yell at him, and I'm sure he is more than ready and prepared to come on and deal with you. Yeah, deal with you rascals in the chat. But look, here's the deal, man. You guys have been yelling about getting Uncle Lou on here for a long time, and somebody sent me, I think it was Buck, sent me his breakdown of Tennessee's schedule. Very, very, very well done for a dude that's a Georgia fan. To be that dialed into what Tennessee has, what Tennessee was bringing back. Very, very good video. And when I watched that, I was like, okay, this dude is more than just a scream at the computer and try to troll Tennessee fans. And see, he's having fun trolling now in the chat, and that's all fine and dandy. But the dude knows his football, so I want him to come on here and talk, and we'll have a good time. We got 300 people watching live right now for the fan call-in show. Always chaotic, but always fun. Make sure you guys do smash that thumbs up. And let me go ahead and plug the merch real quick before we kind of move on and talk a little bit more about Saturday. You guys know the deal. You guys know where to go. Brad, you're still here. You're still hanging out. Why don't you do a little work? Give me the plug. Give me the promo for the merchandise, Brad. Can you do it?
Man, you've put me on the spot, and I can't do it.
Come on. So who in this chat can do Boogie's plug for the merchandise? Surely to goodness somebody's watched enough of these videos.
Kentucky's daddy?
That's one way to do it. All right, you guys know what to do. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can check out the brand new mustard-themed T-shirt or also the Elite. If you're Elite, if you know, let somebody know. But all the old favorites, any and all support, greatly appreciated. You can see John's got one there on in the chat as well. But thank you guys for all the support. If you want to rep the Talkin VAWLS merch, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The links are also in the description below. I don't know I've not seen if Dakota's in the chat or not. Usually when Dakota's in the chat, he's dropping the links and always promoting, which I appreciate that as well. But go check out the merchandise. Let me get caught up on, I missed a couple of super chats, and look, this is the way it's going to be from now on. If they come through, we miss them, I'll go back and hit them, but not always going to highlight them unless they're the bigger ones. It's just the easiest way to keep the show flowing. Aiden Stills for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Love the show. Excited to see Heupel take Pitt to the woodshed Saturday. Knoxville Predator Catcher for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Uncle Lou used to be religious, but now he hates Hail Marys. That one's worth putting on the screen. It's right there. There you go. Yeah, I've heard Uncle Lou doesn't really like Hail Marys too much, but
that's good.
That's all right. That's all right. Thank you for the super chat, Knoxville Predator Catcher. We appreciate it. If you don't have the super chats coming in, or you don't want to buy merch, or you don't want to become a member of the channel, that's cool. Just hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate it. James, let's talk about the game Saturday. Realistically, where do you feel like we're at? Because that's something I'm going to talk about with Uncle Lou when he comes on, is our psychotic fan base and how one game goes our way and all of a sudden it feels like 98 going to win a national championship. What's your realistic opinion coming up this Saturday against Pitt?
Based on what we've seen so far, I really feel like the Pitt defense is showing that they have a weakness in their secondary. Lord knows if we've got any strength right now in this season, it better be Hendon Hooker and that wide receiver core that should be as good as any in the nation. What I'm looking for is for us to expose that secondary and actually take advantage of it. It's been a long time since Nardesian has actually seen anything like this. I really think that Pitt has stepped on themselves a little bit with some of their comments this week. They've given us bulletin board material that we weren't expecting. I think they've disrespected our coach. I think they disrespected the system, and I know they've disrespected Hendon. I'm looking for him to have a breakout day. I'm thinking this is a day where we embarrass Pitt. We embarrass them, and we step forward, and once we do that, we're looking at stepping into Florida with the confidence that we need to play a top 10 matchup. And that, whether it's rated that way or not by the pundits, I feel like it may be a top 10 matchup.
Let me add another one. We got another guy in the back here. Nick Williams, what's up, buddy? Thanks for jumping on and joining the call-in show.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's up, man? How do you feel going into Saturday? You feel confident about this game with Pitt?
Yeah, I do feel confident, man. I don't think Pitt got the offense to keep up with us.
What do you think about their defensive line, their linebacker unit? How do you think Tennessee matches up? That's the big thing. I don't know that Pitt has the offense, but their defense is pretty dang good. Why do you like Tennessee's offense against Pitt's defense?
Too fast. They're going to have to keep up with us whole 4 quarters. And I don't feel like they're going to be able to keep up with us. I feel like that offense, if it doesn't get out to a good start in the first quarter, by the time middle of the second quarter comes, they'll get rolling.
I'm sorry, Uncle Lou is having a field day in the chat. Maybe you guys are going to talk him out of coming on the show.
I tell you, I look for
Drew
McCoy. I look for McCoy to have a bigger game this week, be more involved.
Yeah, me too.
You know, that's another week of practice, another week kind of in the system, another week working out with Hooker. You saw, you know, he's been here since when, right at the beginning of fall camp. Is that when he got there?
Yeah.
So
back in July, I think.
Well, he came in during the summer, but obviously, I mean, fall camp. He didn't participate in spring.
So, you know, I think that vibe and that connection with Hooker is only going to get better. And face it, man, they look pretty good. He had that one drop, but I think Brew is going to be a big asset opposite of Tillman.
He's massive. Like even like
He's
on the
huge.
field, he just looked like a massive dude. The only thing, just piggybacking on that real quick, I know we're so laser focused on the offense and we have every right to be confident. The worst thing that can happen is for our secondary to pull a Purdue again. And every time they throw up these one-on-one balls, that there's a PI, because that's going to keep Pitt in the game, and we're going to play with fire. I know everyone's freaking out about the defensive line, but if we're getting flagged downfield nonstop, that's going to be a real problem. And I still think we're going to win the game, but there's just a big like red flag back there that hopefully gets addressed this week.
Well, I think if we can put
before we jump to the next question, let me make a statement and then I want to drop off. What gives me confidence going into this game is that we saw Ball State drop an 8, right? And we still were able to execute our high-powered offense. Still was able to score 59 points. Yes, it was Ball State, but they were trying to make us one-dimensional, right, by dropping 8. Pitt doesn't have they don't have good secondary. With that said, I think we're going to be able to put up points easy. I think we're going to be able to move the ball easily with the pass. They'll try to drop, I think, to try to cover us. And with that, that's just going to open up our run. And I'm going to finish with Vols by 50. And Boogie, if you would quit sending shirts out via horse and buggy, I might already have mine by now.
See, the thing is, Brad, it's not in a horse and buggy. It's not been ordered yet, so it's even worse than you think. I'll get right on that as soon as you guys
still lose.
You guys still stop talking me into live streaming 14 times a day. I'll have time to order that shirt and get it out to you, buddy.
All right, you guys have a good night. Go Vols.
Later, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.
We'll get rid of one joker and add another one. What's up, Sammy P?
I think one thing we see this week, guys, is we talked about the outside threat, but I think we're going to see, because of the defensive line putting some pressure up the middle, we're going to see some tight ends that we didn't see any in week 1. I think you also see Jalen Hyatt play a big role over the middle in the slot, and I think his size and athleticism. is going to play a big deal against a linebacker trying to keep up with him at some point during this football game. But your release of your tight ends, if you followed Heupel, and we've seen that the tight ends are traditionally a big piece of his offense. We didn't see them at all in week 1. You guys have talked about it a ton, the vanilla-ness of both the offense and the defense. But I think, given the fact that the pressure is going to come at different times in the game, you're going to see some of these guys, especially our backs in the middle of the field, be exposed. Because if you blitz Heupel, he knows how to make you pay. And that's going to be an interesting piece too, is the middle of the football field, to me, and both sides of the ball are where we win this football game. I think our linebackers and our secondary are better, which are going to help us in pass coverage and putting some pressure on Slovis. And I think we've got some threats in the middle of the football field that we didn't use a lot last year either. I mean, we did a lot on the outside and a lot of plays on the outside, but the middle of the football field that we've struggled with so long on covering, I think helps us on Saturday.
Guys, I'm curious. Can I ask a quick question? Who here actually thinks that this team that we're about to play this Saturday, Pitt, are they better than LSU?
No.
No,
I don't
no.
think so. And I
Because
think
because
they are better than LSU after what I saw them put on the field with FSU.
Yeah.
LSU and Florida scare me a lot more than this game. If we lose this game, we've got a lot bigger problems.
Well, okay. Well, let's play a little bit of devil's advocate here, since Boogie likes to play a little devil's advocate sometimes. So me and my buddy was talking about this, last game. So what if this team was to lose to Pitt, but somehow magically when Florida rolls in the towel and we beat Florida, how does that say about us then?
Well, it's an any given Saturday type thing. As the season progresses, we're going to grow that maturity. I mean, I hate to even bring up the name, but look at what Pruitt did in the second half of that season where we started out just miserable. If you can get it going against the right opponents, anybody can do anything. But I think this Pitt game is key to say, hey, we're last year's Ole Miss. Like, you need to pay attention to us. We're like a serious threat.
You got to keep that momentum rolling, right? Preseason, you're right outside the top 25, and I know polls don't really matter. It's going to take care of itself, but still, you're starting to get that national attention. You're starting to get that national recognition. People are talking about Josh Heupel, Hendon Hooker, this football team, and it's been a long time since we've seen that. And, Josh, you bring up a good point talking about Jeremy Pruitt, but even still with that, that run, that 7-game winning streak or whatever it was, it left us all saying what could have been, what should have been. And even still, we already do that with Josh Heupel. We do it looking back to last year. How many games could they have won? But again, I think this Pitt game is absolutely huge. It's huge to keep that momentum going.
Well,
it says a lot about us.
The big thing is it's a road game, and that's key. If it was in Knoxville, I think they'd be
we had that last year,
10 to 14 point favorite. But going on the road, first road game of the year, that plays into it a little bit. So, like we talked about earlier, you got the whole deal with the ticket allotment and what Pitt tried to do with that. It's going to be a hostile environment, and Pitt does have, you can call it some momentum coming in from last year, the way that they came into Knoxville and the way they won that game. So it all plays into it, but we've had a number of guys on tonight that they've said, and I completely agree. I think Tennessee is the better football team, particularly offensively, and as long as they can minimize mistakes and penalties, I don't think it's going to be a very close ball game.
Let me hit this super chat real quick. Hold on, BS. We'll come back to you here in just a second. I got to hit this super chat. It's a big-time super chat. The chat was yelling at me about that. Now they're yelling at me about Uncle Lou. Lou, we're going to get you on, but I'm going to monetize you. I want to get you on here and be able to advertise you and get some people in here in the chat instead of doing it on a fan call-in show. I think it's going to be way more fun. I don't want to have you on with 9 other people. I'd rather have you on one-on-one, talk some ball football, and talk a little Georgia football as well. And as you said today, we'll talk about life. Really frolicking for $50. That ain't cheap. And when you drop a 50 spot, you guys know what happens. What do you got to do? Dauber, what do you got to do? Play the clip. Somebody play the freaking clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
I see the Go Tribe there at the bottom. So
My StreamYard is dying tonight. Freely Frolicking for 50. Thank you for the super chat. Go Vols. Hard not to like Uncle Lou. At BS Osborne. Go Tribe. Beat Pitt.
yeah, I saw that. Yes, I'll go with the beat Pitt. And go Bears. But yeah, one of my best friends who, actually my very best friend, he passed away suddenly 6 years ago, was a McMinn County grad. But real quick, I know you're going to get some other people on here. I think this team is confident. I think they're going to be focused when they go up to Pitt, just based on this is just my observations. I think they're going to be ready to play. And I believe Coach Heupel and his staff will have them ready to play. And one quick thing on Florida. I'm not taking anything away of what they did. They did, I hate to say it, because I cannot stand them. I'm on the edge of whether I dislike them more or Alabama because of my age. So it's fairly equal to me.
Tough choice.
Yeah. But real quick, the thing we got to remember about that, the national media is going to always, in my opinion, love them. And the fact that Utah was sucking gas early in that game. They could not handle the heat in that. And by the time they got really definitely, I feel like towards the end of that game, Utah was done. They could not handle the swamp. If that had been a team, another SEC team, us, for example, we live down here. So, I basically.
I just moved from Utah. I get it. It's this damn humidity.
Yeah, so
it'll kick your ass if you're not used to it, man.
Right. So to me, that had a lot to do with that. But I will say it. I will project because I don't know, and I'll be back on here or whatever. But thank you again, gentlemen. Boogie, I'm looking forward to playing Florida. I really am. But I want to go out here and put Pitt in their place. This is a team that we've never beaten. I don't know if people know that or not. I really want to win this game really bad. So for Coach Majors and the whole 9 yards. So, there was 2 Bradley County guys, at least 2 from that 85 Sugar Bowl team they were older than me that went to Bradley. Dale Jones and Chris White. Chris White, who had 9 interceptions that year. Dale Jones, who made that fantastic, he was a great player, made that great interception against Mike Shula down there at that dump called Legion Field. And I've been there before. That place was never the football capital. The football capital was at Neyland Stadium. It never was Legion Field. I did want to say that. That was not anyway. I'm sorry. I could do a little trash talking, but I'm just going to let that go and say, go Big Orange, go Vols, and gentlemen, get rid of this. I'm not saying anyone here, but any of my fellow viewers, appreciate you guys. Be confident in being a Tennessee fan. Be rid of this battered ball syndrome. Learn your history and know who we are and where we're supposed to be and where we will be. And it starts this week. Let's go up there, take care of business. Go Big Orange. I got to go to bed for work.
I love it, man. Thanks for coming on. The chat was enjoying your stories, man. Chat was enjoying the stories. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
I love the Vols. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, buddy.
Okay. Y'all too.
All right, we got Rad Man Chris in the green room. He just became a member of the channel, immediately capitalizing, coming on. We also got Robert McGee in the back. What's up, Robert? What's up, Rad Man Chris? Thanks for jumping on.
Gentlemen, of course, good to be here.
Let's talk about Saturday. It's kind of fan call-in show. We rotate. Some of us repeat the same things over and over and over, but I want to get everybody's opinion. Where do you think this football team's at? Where do you think they end up against Pitt on Saturday?
I'll go. Robert, you want me to go ahead? I'll go ahead. So I'm excited for this Saturday. I feel like, man, we're ready. We're ready for a good breakout game, and I feel like Hendon's going to take the charge, lead the way, and it's going to be an exciting game. Man, just Saturday can't come any sooner.
What's going to happen to this fan base if Tennessee goes up there and loses to Pitt?
Oh, my God.
Do you think we're divided at that point? You think we're divided? Do you think people start to turn on Josh Heupel if they lose to Pitt?
No.
Sure hope not.
I wouldn't say turn yet.
No, not yet.
Not turn, some might.
Question some of his assistants, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about that, James. We don't have to wait on a loss. Let's talk about Tim Banks, because that's the guy that's on everybody's radar questioning whether or not he can get it done as the defensive coordinator. And just to
Where's
kind of
Coach O?
let's just add some layers to it. Some of that is Josh Heupel's offense. People want to talk about that and his, going quick, up tempo. Nobody wants to be the defensive coordinator. Nobody wants to play defense there. I don't know if that's the case or not. But James, what do you think about Tim Banks? We only got 1 year at Tennessee to judge him on.
I don't think Tim's actually gotten a fair shot yet, but I do believe that he's gotten more than he expected this year. I'm waiting to see whether or not Mitchell actually comes out and becomes a prevalent person in the backfield as far as the linebacking core, and I feel like he's been a huge disappointment, and I think Tim counted on him for more than what he's given us. Beasley had a breakout game, I really feel, in the last game, but I'm waiting to see if we've got that extra body in there that we can count on to be there to stop the run, be effective in the pass. I know Banks had a really hard time last year with the pass, and I don't know if Mitchell could be that other guy who could actually fill that slot that we need, giving us the coverage that we need out of the linebacking core.
If it's the Mitchell that led Texas in tackles, you're talking about a guy that's been out of football for 18 months.
Brew McCoy.
Fair enough.
He's done it. He's proven it. He's shown it. The staff believes in him. He gave us something to look at last week. I'm hoping Mitchell can give us that kind of bounce back, that kind of rapport, that kind of pull. Show the recruits that are 4-star and 5-star, they can come to Tennessee and make an impact now. Because we don't need to just look at this year, guys. We may pull out 8. We may pull out 9. We may pull out 10. God, it would be a great year. We may do something remarkable. But the recruits that are looking inside right now, they watch this staff. If this staff can develop these kids who are walking through the door that have had issues, and they can show these kids coming in, this is the place that you can learn something. Watch it. I'm telling you, the sleeping giant may be awakened, and it's been a long time since I've actually said that and thought that. It's all about the mentality of the kids coming up and in. If these recruits start buying into Tennessee as a name brand, and I hate to say this, like Ohio State, like an Alabama, like a Georgia, if we start being spoken in the same breath as these programs, and we have the love and the fan base, the pool, the resources that this university has, there is no reason that we are not becoming something in the conversation year in, year out inside the playoff.
Nico's a huge part of that, too. Huge part of that.
Absolutely.
I think there's a prove it aspect with all of this. I think, let's just be realistic. I mean, we see it on all of the pages. If we fast forward 6 weeks from now and we've had 2 or 3 games where we've slipped up and blown leads and the defense just didn't do what we wanted to, Tim Banks will 100% be some form of a scapegoat at some point. I think that's just realistic to think about. But if we find a way to strike that balance and just, marginally improve, because we've got the bodies, and I think that's what's important. You have to have the bodies to actually contend. I think it'll make a world of difference because, like James said, then going into next season, Kyle Casper, Carnell Tate, even though, Boogie, I've seen your videos on Tate, those players, they ended up saying, you know what, I'm actually going to go to Ohio State. I'm going to go to Oregon. They're going to say, actually, Tennessee just proved it. I'm going to take the chance. I see the development. They're doing what I want to be part of. This is a huge, huge prove it year, because if we just barely stay above the water, we'll just barely be in that 10 to 15 range for recruiting, which is good, but you're going to have Florida,
Not in the conference.
And you're never going to catch up to Georgia or Alabama. I don't care how many millions you spend, because when we cycle out our 4-star, they're bringing in another 5-star.
Absolutely.
And we have to make up that difference.
That's why I think it would be huge for Brew McCoy to be one and done. And we were having this conversation on a video live stream earlier. Some people were like, no, we need him back for another year after this year. No, absolutely not. Because if you can talk about putting Velus Jones into the league, you can talk about developing Cedric Tillman. We all know the story because we're Tennessee fans. But you know how many people outside of our fan base really know the story that Cedric Tillman had 8 catches in 3 years and then he kind of came onto the scene? They don't know that story. Nope. But if they see Cedric Tillman go early in the NFL draft, they see a guy like Brew McCoy not play football 1 year out of 3, come to Tennessee, ball out, and go to the league. That's how you land the guys like Carnell Tate. That's how you land the guys like Kyler Casper. And that's why Ohio State, what's your argument? I mean, Ohio State was flooding this chat when all that stuff was going on with Carnell Tate. What's your response when they just rattle off this list of guys that they've sent to the league? You got to have it. You got to have proven track record in Tennessee. That's why this season is so crucial. You got to win 8 to 9 games. You have to.
Amen.
Have to. Boogie, if Brew goes, if Brew's one and done at Tennessee, we're 9-3 or better. That means that we've complemented what we all know is going to be an incredible receiving core with him, and he's got every bit of the talent, the size, the speed. You know what I love about him too. You watch him on some of those screens, like having a linebacker out blocking for his fellow teammates as well. I mean, he's a massive dude. But if he balls out and goes one and done, we're 9-3 easily because there's no answer. You cannot guard those receivers if he is who they thought he was going to be, and it's what we're all hoping for.
Hey, Boogie, I want to tell you thanks for letting me on tonight. I've got a lot to do. Still got a lot of work to do tonight, so appreciate you guys. Go Big Orange. Love the show. You guys are killing it. We'll see you soon, and let's kick Pitt's ass.
Thanks for coming on, James. Appreciate you jumping on, buddy.
See you, bro.
Let's see if we can get Robert. Let's see if we can get Robert on. We've tried to get Robert on a couple times, and it keeps.
Man, I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Welcome, Robert.
Yeah, I hear you. If y'all can
I
hear
can
me,
hear you.
my StreamYard says I ain't working with my head. Yeah.
See, I'm trying to adjust his mic volume. Can you hear us, Robert? I think it's his internet connection. He's tried to jump on a couple of times.
He said something about being in a train yard.
A train yard? Did he really say he was in a train yard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Sammy P's like, Boogie, stay live 30 more minutes. I'll be there, bro. I'll stay live 30 more minutes. He comes in. He's like, not a good signal in the factory. I'm like, yeah, I'm in my office hanging out. I'm not in a factory but that's what makes these fan call-in shows fun. It's always good. Brad in the chat says, Robert, we don't hear you, but we hear everything else in the background.
Yeah.
Somebody go. Somebody take the reins. This is your show, not mine. I'm gonna make somebody else.
Let me go ahead and say this real quick, because I said my buddy was texting me and he wanted me to bring this up in the show. Because when we're talking about like our defense not getting, after the quarterback, and as far as like blitzing and everything, yeah, if you go back and rewatch, Ball State, yeah, I mean, we was getting after the quarterback. It's just he was just getting the ball out of the pocket very quickly. So, and then he was also, if you go back and watch that Bama game, Bama hasn't even had like a sack to give either. So that makes us a little confident with our defense to say like, hey, I think this defense is going to show out against Pitt this year. So that's why I feel like that, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape.
Xavier, there were so many plays. I went back and rewatched it too. That the defensive line was 2.5 yards in the backfield, and they were getting rid of the football. Slovis is not going to play that way. I think an interesting thing that Narduzzi did in the offseason, which is going to be, the Josh Pate comment earlier, gentlemen. He fired his offensive coordinator for the reasons that he didn't like how much they threw the football. But yet, against a West Virginia defense, that's not that good. They only ran for 74, 75 yards as a unit. What version of Pitt do we get? Is it the Josh Pate, they have to open it up, or is it the ball control? Try to keep the ball away from Tennessee. That's going to be the interesting thing to see on Saturday, because the Pickett version of Pitt was not his way. He's a 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of football coach, and that's what he wants. I don't think you can beat Tennessee playing that way. I really don't. So it'd be very interesting to see what he does with his offense on Saturday, because I don't think they have the athletes to match up one-on-one around the spots. But I mean, that's going to be the key to me is what do they do? I mean, offensively, what do they do to try to counteract the tempo and what we do? Are they playing like Kentucky last year? Trying to keep the ball for 40 minutes, or are they going to let Slovis open it up and throw it and try to expose the secondary?
And this may be ignorance on my part because I haven't seen it enough. Is Slovis a purely pocket passer, or is he like Pickett at all? Because if you remember the game last year, how many times were there when Pickett would just roll out of the pocket and get
he ain't
those
gonna do
4
that.
yards?
No.
Yeah,
he's a pocket.
Because Pickett was able to roll out of the pocket and make like accurate throws, like say, because Slovis, he, like when I was watching, that West Virginia game, he just didn't, like I said, like all you have to do is just get pressure on him. If you get pressure like coming after the sides or up the middle, he's got nowhere else to go. And then like I said,
his mistakes were made on the run too.
Right, exactly. Like if he's getting too scared, he'll just take the sack. So,
well, if you look at his statistics too, he got progressively worse each year at USC. So that's something to bear in mind, and I think probably played in a role in his decision to transfer out. So, that
and Caleb Williams.
Yeah. And I feel like this should be our D lines and our linebacker unit coming out party, because if they come out, they show out. This quarterback not gonna run on this. His quarterback doesn't like being under pressure, so it's that perfect time to come out, show what they got, show what they've been doing all summer, because everybody been hyping them up. So it's time for them to show it now. It's game time this Saturday.
My boy Banks is gonna show out.
Somebody get Nick in the locker room right before they go out.
Put Nick right next to Jeremy Banks.
Yeah, get those guys riled up. I'm ready to go play football now. I got 4 years of eligibility. Let's go.
Get a couple suplexes for me.
Oh man, it's just how I am, man. I'm adamant about it, and I feel like we got so many dogs out there. It's like we got Big O out there. We got what's his name? BY on the end with Byron. I mean, not Byron. Barron. All of them out there. I feel like all of them, they gonna come out. They've been there last year. They seen what they did wrong, and I feel like now it's time for them to go out there, show what they about, show that they can make it out there in the SEC.
Nick's firing up the chat now. Now the chat's ready to go play football. We got a full football team in the chat ready to go after Nick gave that hot speech there. Jody Wooten for 10. Thank you for the super chat. After watching FSU, I wish the transfer from Albany had come here. Dude, I've not watched that game yet. I recorded it. I recorded that game. Haven't got a chance to watch it, but that's all everybody was talking about on VolQuest was
Boogie. Fourth quarter, they rushed 3, and he beats the right tackle to the outside, beats the guard trying to double team and gets a sack to cause LSU to throw a timeout. They end up scoring on that drive, but first down, rushing 3, and he gets a sack. I mean, the dude is legit. He's legit.
Oh,
I feel like Coach Garner was so close to getting him too. I really feel like that one was close.
Too. They talked
Christopher
about
Madison
it on the broadcast.
Christopher Madison becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that support. We're about to wrap up this fan call-in show. My plan was to do an hour every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. But you guys, man, I'm serious when I said it earlier. Sometimes I just like to sit back and listen to you guys go. Matt, I love listening to Matt break down the game. Like, man, I love hearing people talk fans, for the fans, by the fans. I truly mean it when I say I don't know any more than you guys know. I'm just a fan, too. I love getting your perspectives. Nick's got me hyped. Nick's got me fired up, ready to – I'm never going to go to sleep. I'm going to be up all night. But I appreciate you guys coming on. Let's go around the room and get a prediction real quick. I've already got Dauber and Xavier. Josh, what are you looking for on Saturday? Where do you think we end up? Give me a little something. We'll send it out the door.
I'm looking for us to get off the field on third down. I'm looking for us to get some stops. If we do that, like – 45, 28, 24. If we don't, like a 48-45 type game. But I'm gonna err on we're gonna get the stops like Nick said. He's gonna fire everybody up. Tim Banks is gonna say I need to make a statement today, and I think they're gonna do what they need to do. And I think we'll start looking towards Florida and get pretty hyped about that. I appreciate you, Boogie. I appreciate everybody. Go Vols. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. Have a good night, Josh.
Big Orange.
GBO.
All right, Cody, give me a little something. Give me a little key to the game. How about a couple keys to the game on Saturday? I'll throw a different question at you.
All right. I think you got to get home in the backfield. You have to get after that quarterback. There can't be none of this defensive line not putting their hands up, not batting the ball. You've got to get after the quarterback. Put him in the dirt. And I think you need to run the ball a lot.
I like Tennessee's chances to be able to run the football on Saturday. Give me your score, Cody. Final score prediction.
Do 45-10.
Oh my gosh!
Now I have a hypothetical. I have a hypothetical for you guys to think about until the next call-in show. If we go 10-2, but then next year, where we have so many more younger players playing throughout the field, if we go 7-5 or 8-4 after going 10-2, do you think the fan base turns on Heupel at that point?
I think we've had this conversation, you and I, in the comment section before. Next year's going to be tough. You are losing so much production next year, but
you're losing a lot of talent.
To go with your question and not change it, if they go 10-2 this year, there are going to be some recruits that flip. Maybe you get a guy like Carnell Tate, maybe you don't. You're going to have some recruits flip, and then you're also going to start
Transfer
to build.
portal.
You're going to start to build the class of 24. Dauber, that's a good point. You're going to add guys in the portal, and hopefully you would have enough there between the class of 22, 23, 24 to kind of rebound that next year. So, yeah, that's a good question, Cody. Like I said, I think we've talked about it a lot. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Always enjoy talking ball with you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll throw one thing in real quick right there on to Cody's question. The landscape of college football and recruiting has changed so much. I think that because of that, you will be able to not necessarily flip an entire team, but in a year that would seemingly be down, you can pull guys in that are going to be immediately impactful to your team. So you're not going to be as behind the eight ball as you would have been previously, losing, getting a roster flipped like that.
Yeah. Micah Bush for $100 super chat. $100. He says, stop messing around. Put me on the leaderboard. I'm the top contributor of this stream. $100. You guys know the deal. That ain't cheap.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Appreciate that, Micah. Very, very generous tip in the old tip jar. Says, go Big Orange. Total offense, 656 yards. Tennessee wins 56-29. I love it. Appreciate it. Very, very generous. Man, that is a big-time super chat. That ain't cheap. Let's. I'm trying to think of how to. Okay, this is how I'm going to send it out. Matt, give me a little something. What are you looking for on Saturday? A key to the game. Something.
Love it. All right. To me, it's going. We talked about run the football. We talked about defense getting home. Avoid the 3 and outs with the tempo. That kills our defense. I think Tennessee's a better football team. The Vegas -6.5 is a big sign of respect for what this football team is going to accomplish. I think the 3:30 ABC game is a teaser with knowing what's coming next year with the CBS ABC flip for the SEC. So you're getting Tennessee on national media ABC at 3:30 on Saturday, which we're going to have a national brand of football on appearance. To me, it's a +2 in the turnover ratio for Tennessee with a strip sack somewhere in there by T-Mac, in my opinion, coming off the edge, and a pick by somebody over the middle, a couple sacks, and a 48-21 football win. And it's not close. It's 48-10, 48-14, something like that going into the fourth quarter. We blew them out of the water.
Love it, man. I appreciate you coming on. Had a blast talking ball with you. Really, really enjoy listening to you talk.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Talk this football
good
team
stuff,
up.
Matt.
Yeah, good
Thanks for
stuff.
coming on, buddy.
It's that Southwest Virginia vibe, Boogie. Being close to where you grew up, my friend. From
are you really?
Norton, Virginia. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's not far at all. Not far at all.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, guys.
All right, later, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
See you, man. See you guys.
All right.
See you.
All right, Nick, we're about to put you on the spot because you're going to do something different. That's why I saved you for last. And I'm going to put you on the spot. You got to give me some hype. You got to give me something. It's not, you don't have to do a prediction. You don't have to do a key to the game. I'll just want you to kind of regenerate that energy you just brought just a few moments ago with something about Saturday. No pressure. Get them, Nick. I want to hear it. Get me fired up again.
Well, Saturday, man, we just got to come out there, guns blazing, man. Offense, as usual, guns blazing, straight fast. Make sure we don't turn the ball over. Hold on to the ball. And defense has got to go out there, pin their ears back. Linebackers flying around like Aaron Beasley last week. DNs got to get upfield. Got to make sure we make that quarterback uncomfortable. The DBs got to be there ready for the bad passes. Because they coming if we coming off their D-line strong. You know what I mean? So we just got to come out there ready, fight. We on the road. They already disrespected our fans. They ain't giving us no tickets. So we got to come out there feel like we disrespected like they did us. You know what I mean?
I love it, Nick. I love your energy, man. You can't fake that. But if you could bottle it and if you could bottle it and sell it,
pads.
Yeah, I love it, man. I appreciate you coming on. I think it's the first time you've ever been on a fan call-in show. I appreciate you jumping on and hanging out with us.
Yeah, appreciate y'all too. GBO.
Later, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
GBO, bro.
Oh, I got to get off that zoomed in up our nasal cavity. All right, fellas, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Man, what a great night. I truly get energized on the fan call-in shows. I love having you guys on. I love sharing this platform with you guys. For the fans, by the fans, means something. If you haven't done it yet, please do smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the official Talkin VAWLS merchandise. The link's in the description below, as well as the link to Spire Sports Group. We are an official affiliate. You want to get involved in the NIL game? Jump into the link below and go find out how you can be involved with the NIL game and kick a few bucks back our way, but still 90% of the money that you give goes to the athletes. H2P says, here's a $2 to say, all right, I'll be more reasonable. Pitt 48, UT 6. I hope you show up in the post-game show, my friend, because I would love to talk to you about your score prediction when the game's all said and done. Christopher Madison becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that support. Like I said, guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Just a quick reminder of the schedule this week. Tomorrow night, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, myself and JP are going to be talking a little Tennessee football. I'm excited to pick JP's brain because he gets emotional during the game. He was sending text messages. He texted me today, said, Boogie, I've calmed down a little bit. I've got a different point of view about the line of scrimmage. So JP's going to bring that to you tomorrow night. Saturday, we're going to do a tailgate show. We'll be live an hour before kickoff, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, doing this same deal. Fan call-in show for the fans, by the fans, members of the channel. Come on, hang out, and we'll have a good time. And then we'll be live, obviously, immediately following the game. I'm not sure who all is going to join on that yet. We'll get back to you and let you guys know. But that's going to do it for this one. Had a great time. Absolute blast. He's Dauber. He's Xavier. My name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we call home.